Hello lovely people, welcome back to this channel. In today's video, we are discussing 10 main infrastructural projects that's transforming Burkina Faso as the whole of West Africa, and in fact Africa is in awe, watching Burkina Faso improve. If you were wondering what are the 10 substantive projects that Burkina Faso is currently embarking on, then you are at the right place. And for West Africans like myself who are in awe, let us pay close attention to all this progress happening to our very neighbor. Such applications can also be applied to Ghana, Nigeria, and other West African nations, and even to the entire continent at large. Let's get into it. At number 1, we have the Faso-Merbo Agency Road Building Program. We begin with this initiative because it has become the engine behind nearly every road project in the country. The Faso-Merbo Agency, it was launched by President Ibrahim Traoré, and what makes this program exceptional is that it was designed to modernize road infrastructure and urban spaces across Ouagadougou and other major cities. But its approach is what sets it apart. Rather than relying on foreign contractors and imported material, Faso-Merbo leans heavily on locally sourced materials and volunteer labor, cutting dependence on foreign aid at nearly every step of the construction phase. The program has steadily scaled up its operations, and in May 2026, President Ibrahim Traoré personally handed over 776 pieces of public works equipment, including graders, bulldozers, excavators, and asphalt plants, to accelerate the highway construction across 4 regions of the country. And some of these machineries were the same ones that were conveyed from Ghana's port in Tema to the capital of Burkina Faso, which is Ouagadougou. This wasn't just a symbolic gesture, it's a direct injection of heavy machinery into operational brigades tasked with connecting rural communities to urban centers and improving trade routes nationwide. The Faso-Merbo represents the philosophical foundation of Burkina Faso's entire infrastructural strategy, building with what you have, mobilizing your own people, and relying on national capacity rather than external assistance. And you can see a lot of people donating into this Faso-Merbo program, all Burkinabe citizens, with many news outlets, example Burkina 24, dedicating a whole subsection to donations and progress of the Faso-Merbo project. At number 2, we have the SKBO Basin of Integration project. Next is a project with regional ambitions that stretch far beyond Burkina Faso's own borders. The SKBO Basin of Integration project is a $216 million initiative backed by the World Bank, designed to strengthen climate resilient road and rail connectivity across the Sikasso-Gorho Bobo-Dioulasso sub-region. This corridor links Burkina Faso with neighboring Mali and Côte d'Ivoire, forming a critical artery for cross-border trade in West Africa. What makes this project particularly forward-thinking is that it has its emphasis on climate resilience. Roads and rail lines across the Sahel are frequently disrupted by extreme weather, flooding, and infrastructural decay, and this initiative is specifically engineered to withstand those pressures while keeping goods and people moving. By reinforcing this sub-region's basin, the project aims to reduce transportation bottlenecks, lower the cost of moving goods across the borders, and open up new economic opportunities for communities along the corridor. It's a reminder that Burkina Faso's transformation isn't happening in isolation. It is tightly interconnected with the broader economic health of the entire Sahel region. At number 3, we have the Rafino National Gold Refinery project. Now, we turn to one of the most consequential industrial projects in Burkina Faso's modern history, the Rafino National Gold Refinery. The foundation stone for this facility was laid back in November 2023. Developed in partnership with the Malian firm Marina Gold and designed with a refining capacity of roughly 150 tons of gold per year at an impressive 99.99% purity. As of April 2026, the refinery remains under construction, with the completion target before the end of this very year, 2026. For generations, Burkina Faso's raw gold had to be shipped abroad to refineries in places like the UAE or Switzerland before it could reach international investment grade standards. Every stage of that refining value chain and the profits, jobs, and technical expertise that comes with it happened somewhere else. Rafino is designed to change that permanently, allowing Burkina Faso to refine its own gold domestically for the very first time, keeping an entire stage of the value chain inside its own borders. At number 4, we have the Kiaka Gold Mine. Moving further into the mining sector, we arrive at the Kiaka Gold Mine, developed by Australian company West African Resources, located just 45 kilometers south of the already operational Sambrado mine, Kiaka achieved its first gold pour in the third quarter of 2025, following the successful construction and commissioning of its processing plants combined with existing production from Sambrado. Total output from these two operations is expected to exceed 420,000 ounces of gold annually by 2026, and that fits perfectly with the gold refinery project that is currently being embarked on. That figure also places the company amongst the top mid-tier gold producers anywhere on the planet. For Burkina Faso, Kiaka represents more than just a corporate milestone. It's a direct contributor to the country's projected rise in the national gold production this very year. Mining remains the top export sector for the entire economy, and large-scale industrial operations like this very one are central to keeping that sector growing, even as the government is simultaneously expanding its own state-owned mining footprint elsewhere. And number 5, we have the super-made Bobo-Dioulasso State Gold Mine. Speaking of a state-owned mining project, our next project, which is the Bobo-Dioulasso Gold Mine in the Yako commune, developed entirely through the state mining company Supermib. Government officials have described this project as a genuine turning point, a clean break from decades of leaving mineral development almost exclusively in the hands of private and often foreign operators. The mine requires an investment of more than 32 billion CFA francs, which is roughly 56.1 million US dollars, and is projected to produce over 7 metric tons of gold across its lifespan, exceeding 15 years. The financial returns this is projected to have for the state is just striking, more than 39 billion CFA francs in direct revenue over the life of the mine, not even counting future dividends. Beyond the balance sheet, Bobo-Dioulasso is expected to create and sustain around 1,200 direct and indirect jobs in the surrounding communities. This project fits into the much larger pattern rippling across the Sahel region. The government is deciding that mineral wealth would directly build their nation rather than simply flow outward to foreign shareholders. At number 6, we have the Donson Solar Power Station. Energy security takes center stage with the 6th project, the Donson Solar Power Station, situated in Lombila within the Plateau Central region. This 25 megawatt solar facility represents a government-owned investment of approximately 45.7 million euros. With its commissioning expected in 2026, once operational, Donson will feed clean, renewable electricity directly into the national grid, helping reduce the country's reliance on costly imported fuel for power generation. In a country where consistent electricity access remains a real challenge, particularly for communities outside the major urban centers, projects like this represent essential building blocks towards long-term energy security. As factories multiply and highways expand across the country, demand for stable power only grows, and solar infrastructure like Donson is helping position Burkina Faso to meet that demand sustainably. At number 7, we have the agricultural transformation project that Burkina Faso is embarking on. Agriculture remains the backbone of the Burkinabe economy, and the 7th project reflects a serious commitment to modernize it. The agricultural transformation project is a 215.9 million US dollar initiative backed by the World Bank. It is focused specifically on modernizing the country's rice and maize value chain. Alongside broader processing infrastructure, the project targets productivity improvements at the farm level, upgraded processing facilities to reduce post-harvest losses, and better market access so that the farmers can sell their goods at fair, stable prices. It also addresses one of the most persistent obstacles to rural prosperity, which is the access to financing, by helping unlock capital for private investments and encouraging the adoption of modern agricultural technology and techniques. Particular attention is being paid to include women and the youth throughout the value chain, ensuring the economic benefits of agricultural modernization reach communities that depend on farming most directly for their own livelihoods. At number 8, we have the tomato processing factory, Sopto and Tufato. On the 8th project, it tells one of the most human stories on the entire list. For years, Burkina Faso has produced enormous quantities of tomatoes. A significant share of every harvest rot in the fields simply because there were no processing or storage infrastructure to preserve it. That changed when President Ibrahim Traoré inaugurated the country's first ever locally funded tomato processing factory in Bobo-Dioulasso, built in just 462 days at a cost of 7.5 billion CFA franc, funded entirely through a popular shareholder initiative without a single dollar of foreign financing. Known as SOP2, the plant processes 100 tons of tomatoes daily and is expected to generate 187 direct jobs, along with roughly 10,000 indirect jobs across surrounding farming communities. Remarkably, just 16 days later, a second facility called Sofatu opened in Yaku, matching that same 100 tons per day processing capacity. This second plant represented $8.9 billion investment funded through a cooperative society with a design capacity of 5 tons of tomatoes per hour. Together, these two factories are ending years of agricultural waste, giving farmers real stable markets for their crops and steadily reducing Burkina Faso's dependence on imported tomato products. Just imagine, Burkina Faso just used 462 days to make this project a reality, and just 16 days later, a second facility. Not talks, action. At number 9, we have the Bungu and Wagnon mine acquisitions. The 9th project is also on mining. The project is the country taking a state control of the mining sector a step further. In August 2024, the Burkinabe government acquired these gold mines from Lilion Mining in a deal reportedly valued between $60 and $80 million. This wasn't simply a business transaction, it was a deliberate strategic move. For years, the foreign operators controlled the majority of the large-scale mining activities in Burkina Faso, extracting significant value, while the state captured only a portion through taxation and royalties. By bringing these two operations under direct government ownership, Burkina Faso reshaped the balance of power within its most lucrative economic sector. The revenue generated from these mines now flow more directly into national cafes, helping to fund the very infrastructure and industrial projects appearing throughout this list. At number 10, we have the Ouagadougou Bobo-Dioulasso Expressway, which I brought to you in my last video. This final project is arguably the most visually dramatic symbol of this entire transformation. The expressway, which the construction began in December 16, 2025, when President Ibrahim Traoré personally launched the project in Yimdi, near Ouagadougou, as part of the broader Faso-Merbo initiative. This 332-kilometer highway is being funded nearly by 200 billion CFA francs, which is roughly $357 million, drawn directly from the state budget rather than foreign loans. The engineering specifications are genuinely staggering: up to 8 total lanes, 4 running in each direction, 9 two-level interchanges, 28 overpasses, and a dedicated underpass at the entrance to Bobo-Dioulasso, all designed to eliminate travel bottlenecks entirely. Outside populated areas, the highway will support speeds up to 140 km per hour, dramatically reducing freight and travel times across the country. What makes this construction even more ridiculous is the pace of construction, which has just been impressive as the design. By January 2026, barely a month after the groundwork, 232 of the full 332 kilometers have already been cleared, and as at now, the construction is going on heavily, giving landlocked Burkina Faso a faster, more reliable connection to the global economy. So as we've seen, from the volunteer-built roads to the state-owned gold mines, from solar farms to citizen-funded tomato factories, these 10 projects reveal a country determined to build its own future on its own terms. And what makes this very exceptional is that these are the 10 main ones I personally curated from seeing which projects are actually going on, and they are all going on simultaneously. Burkina Faso is proving that self-reliance isn't just a slogan, it's a functioning developmental strategy, one project at a time. Whether this model becomes a blueprint for other nations across Africa remains to be seen, but for now, Burkina Faso is showing the world exactly what homegrown transformation can look like. Hit the like button, subscribe to this channel so you do not miss any video I bring to you on African excellence and development. Thank you, and on to the next video. Let me know what you think, and be sure to check this next video out as well.